What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about this story from Express about Rian Johnson potentially being removed from his trilogy. Now, many of my amazing counterparts within the fandom menace have already covered this, so I'm a little late. So I'm not going to read the whole article, get into that. I'll drop it in the link below if you want to read it. I'm basically just going to talk about the obvious things that are going on. The obvious things going on are that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't seem to be in power anymore at Lucasfilm. She just doesn't. It seems like she's gone. She has not spoken in a public setting outside of one interview on the red carpet in almost 7 months, I think. Since before The Last Jedi released, basically, this woman has been nowhere to be found. And prior to that, you couldn't get her off camera. She was everywhere. So I don't think she's in power anymore, and linked to her is Rian Johnson. If she's gone, Rian Johnson is gone. I said this on one of my live streams the other day, and it's kind of like sports where if you have a general manager and that general manager gets fired, typically you remove all of that general manager's ideas and people that he put in place because the person coming in, the new person, wants a clean slate. Now, that new person may actually tell his bosses, like, okay, I like these ideas right here, but I don't like these. We need to get rid of that because I can't do anything with that. Literally nobody's going to come into Lucasfilm and say, yeah, I really want to take that Rian Johnson trilogy on. I really want to take that over. That seems like a really good opportunity. No, it's a liability. It's a huge liability. Rian Johnson is a liability to Star Wars. Rian Johnson should have a restraining order against him where he can never come within 500 yards of a Star Wars production. No, 500 miles. Let's say 500 miles of a Star Wars production. I've said that before. I don't remember specifically what I said, but for today, 500 miles, Rian Johnson, you can not come near a Star Wars production for the rest of your life. If you have a family emergency, you need to get a court order that gives you clearance, and then we will still put high security around you to make sure that you don't bring your grubby little man-baby hands around this production. But I don't think Rian Johnson's trilogy will happen. I said this the day after The Last Jedi, that I didn't think it would happen, specifically based on the backlash. Like, people just hated The Last Jedi. They just did. Even when I wasn't fully understanding how much I didn't like the movie, I was still self-aware enough to understand that the reaction was bad. And it only got worse after that. So I see no way that this trilogy sees the light of day. So what's going on here, in my opinion, and I say this all the time to you guys, when we see stories like this, this is Disney putting information out there, floating it to certain sites, and then those sites will push it out there for the public to react. That way, when the news actually hits, it's not this big shocking revelation. There's already been these little rumors floating around out there. So I feel like this is potentially Disney putting out another story just to go, hey, Rian Johnson might be gone. We need to float that out there so we can get the public talking about it. That way, when it actually is announced, it's not a big shock. I don't think this man is doing his trilogy. I think that's already been determined. I think that was determined months ago. And now whether he was told about it months ago, I don't know. But I feel like the Alan Horn and Bob Iger made that decision months and months ago. They're like, bro, we can't. There's no way. There's no way we can let this guy do a trilogy. These are not dumb people. Now, they don't make a lot of smart decisions sometimes, and sometimes their wokeness gets in the way of their very intelligent business minds. But there's no way, as an executive, you can look at Rian Johnson and the reaction to The Last Jedi and think that it's a good idea moving forward with this trilogy. So this gives more indications that Kathleen Kennedy is, in fact, gone. Because, again, if she's gone, Rian Johnson is gone. I feel like she's gone. I feel like Rian Johnson's gone. I feel like they've already gotten rid of all of her projects that she had in motion, like all of the Star Wars stories that were a terrible idea to begin with. We just heard Ewan McGregor say that there's no Obi-Wan movie. That was actually probably a good idea. But, when someone else does come and take over, they're going to look at all of the ideas in play, and they're going to go, okay, I really like this Benioff and Weiss situation. Obviously, Jon Favreau, anybody would be honored to work with Jon Favreau. So if you have a creative mind like that, you definitely want to keep Jon Favreau on board. So I'm sure whoever is going to take over this job looks at those two projects and thinks, yeah, those are something I can definitely work with. Rian Johnson is something I can't work with if I keep Rian Johnson's trilogy greenlit, I am setting myself up for failure before I've even began. So get rid of Rian Johnson. Kathleen Kennedy's gone. Get rid of the Star Wars story bullshit. We've already heard Dave Filoni has already distanced himself from Resistance. Funny how he said that like the day before the trailer, 2 days before the trailer released. It's almost like Filoni was like, hey guys, this thing's gonna suck, so I just need you to know that I'm not involved with this on a day-to-day basis. It's almost like Filoni knew it. So where will Filoni go? We know he's working on Clone Wars, and so hopefully he's working on more things and getting more involved with the creative side of these films. So we'll see. But I think Rian Johnson's gone. I think this was determined months and months ago. Whether Rian Johnson knew about it months and months ago, I have no idea. I also think Kathleen Kennedy is gone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's my take on it. Not surprised at all. Disney's finally floating this information out there. So now hopefully we can get some confirmation on a lot of this stuff that we've been speculating on for months. And, you know, a lot of people go, oh, well, these guys on YouTube, they just speculate. Well, can you point me to the last Kathleen Kennedy video? Can you please point me to the last time Kathleen Kennedy did an interview so we can have some new updated information from the so-called president of Lucasfilm? No, you can't, because she's in hiding, because she's a coward, because she can't face her horrible decisions. Yeah, that's why we have to speculate so much, because the person in charge of this company that is so massive and so important to so many can't say a word because she's a coward. So we will continue to speculate until we get answers. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Check out geeksandgamers.com, and we will talk to you later.